Okay guys, so I have a PiTop seed here that the green light is flashing on and off, but when I try to turn it on, this is all plugged in, the screen does kind of turn on a little bit, but nothing else happens. My Raspberry Pi doesn't do anything, so I'm trying to figure it out. If I did open a ticket with PiTop, and they said that I guess if I unplug it and then plug it back in, that might work. So I'm going to try that. See how it goes. Okay, I was able to remove the cable. It was not that easy. You might want to get some sort of way to kind of pry it up, because you have to pry each one of these side tabs. I use a little kind of makerspace box cutter to do it, but I'm going to just reseat that and hopefully power it back on. So I'm going to put this back in, make sure I line up all my pins. Alright, here we go. Green light, that's on the Raspberry Pi. Doesn't look like it did anything. At this point, another thing I want to test is to make sure my Raspberry Pi is actually working. So I got this whole thing turned off, but I'm going to just unplug everything and go actually plug it into a different screen just to make sure. I'm pretty sure that this thing's fine, but I want to make sure I'm not crazy. Alright. Over here I have an old VGA monitor. Just because it's VGA, I had to get this little dongle that goes from VGA to HDMI. Plug this into my Raspberry Pi. Got my mouse and keyboard in. Take my USB power, plug this thing in. Let's see if this thing starts up. Those lights look good. Oh, did I get this all the way in? Maybe not. Maybe that's my problem. So both those lights being on makes me think that there's something wrong with the operating system on this thing. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to try a different micro SD card for my Raspberry Pi. Find one that I know is working. Got a new SD card. Put that thing in. Let's plug it in. Hopefully this thing works. That looks better. The screen turns on. We're in business. Well, technology's fun. So that looks pretty good. It looks like it's actually booting up, because you can see the green light is actually blinking and stuff, so it means it's thinking and doing stuff. But my monitor's not turning on, so then that makes me think that this thing, something's going on with this. So it's one thing after another. Alright, so I got a different one of these things. These things are kind of junky, so I'm not surprised it's not working. Plug that into my HDMI port, plug in my power, and hopefully my screen comes up. Oh, green light, screen's booting, that's good stuff. So that means my Raspberry Pi is now definitely working. So let's take that back to the PiTop and make sure it wasn't just my Raspberry Pi. Alright, I got my Raspberry Pi. I'm going to plug in the HDMI on the PiTop. Plug in the top ribbon cable. Make sure I got every pin in. Yep. Push that in. Plug in my USB. Mouse and keyboard. Make sure that's in. Alright. Put in my power. Make sure that's all the way in. Alright, here goes nothing. Black screen. Still no power to the Raspberry Pi. None of the lights are on. I think we can say it's the PiTop. Now one other thing I want to try. I turn this off. Maybe if I pull this proto board out. This is like an add-on board for the PiTop. If I pull this out, let's see what happens. Because maybe something with this is messing this up. Nope. Alright, here's worth a shot. I gotta go to PiTop and see what's going on.